Emma, have you realized how do we look when we are on television? Have you ever watched us?
Mm, yeah, I have.
But we've never seen ourselves together. So let's have a look. It's the business acumen, it's the long-term view, and trust me, it's not going to be stopping at MUT because from what
Hmm.
we've heard, this is a $5 million contract.
Miss Universe, that is his goal. He always wanted to
Not
kind of
bad.
crush Miss Universe in a way, but this is an entry where he can get some of his talents onto the big golden egg, and I think this is how he's going to do it. So I think that,
Emma,
oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Ruko, what
Guru?
is this? We said it, right?
We called it out, Guru, way before it happened.
Well,
You said it, I said it.
we all
Oh
said it.
my.
I think it is Mukabala time. What do you think?
Guys, this is going to be a fun episode because we're going to do a head-to-head clash of the Titans with MGI and MU. You
That's
don't want to
right.
miss this fun episode because you've never seen anything like this, right? Stay tuned.
छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन है छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन ज़मीं आसमां ऊंची छू गया झूमता गगन आसमान मेरे झूम ले जहां ये कैसा नशा प्यार का समा वही समा झूमे आसमान होश तो खोले प्यार तू ले ले संग मेरे झूम जा कैसा नशा होश है कहाँ होश तो खोले प्यार तू ले ले संग मेरे झूम जा
Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are the Pageant Gurus, and this is a fun episode because the news has just been dropped by Miss Universe organization stating clearly that the MGI organization will be responsible for the entire organization for the 2025 MU competition in
That's logic.
Thailand this year.
That's logic. That's logic. If you you know,
It was, we called it, we knew it was going to happen. Watch our previous episode where we have called this out. And it's no surprise, Guru, that, you know, Nawat would want a
that
complete hand in this
if
entire organization production because he does a good job. So we're super happy about that. The viewing platform will be better, so we all get to watch it without subscriptions and nonsense. And I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. But, well, we knew this was going to happen, right? I
I
mean,
think this was part of the entire 5 million deal that things are coming as we speak, and as corporate life and how business is run, everything is communicated at the right time. And what an amazing news! I think this is the perfect blend of both. From a production perspective, things that they were lacking in terms of business and in terms of production and stage value. That's where MGI is definitely going to bring a lot of pizzazz into the Miss Universe contest. But let's see where it goes. There's Raul, there is Nawad, there is Anne, there is Osmel. It's quite a lethal leadership at Miss Universe. So we don't know what else is going to be sold. But this one is going to be exciting, Emma, because here we are going to do the Clash of the Titans. The transformational leader is going to beat the one and only, or otherwise. We'll get to know.
absolutely. So this episode is going to be a fun one because we have been planning to do this for a while and the timing couldn't be more perfect since this news was announced today. So what we're going to do is we're going to review all the winners of MGI and MU from 2015 till now. And if these girls were to go on a head-on clash for a title,
Oh, I
who
cannot
would
believe
win? It's going to be okay, if you guys follow football, you have the UEFA Winners' Cup, which is of course Copa America, heading on with Euro 24 winners, and of course Argentina won. So this is going to be super fun. No one's done this, Guru. I cannot be more excited to pick two winners from
But
each year from opposing pageants to see who Guru would choose as a winner and who I would choose as a winner. And here's the fun thing, guys. We want you to get involved and let us know who would you pick as your winners as well for these consecutive years that we're going to be talking about. So it's a
now,
fun
if
stuff.
I understand, if I understand you well, guys, what Emma is trying to say is we are going to have for every year the Miss Universe winner and the Miss
Yeah.
National winner as actually the top two holding hands, and then we take a vote as to which side are we on. Are we on the universe or are we on the grand side? And then eventually, over the 10 years, we will sum up the scores and see who in the last decade ruled the pageantry world. And yes, you
Who
must
got
comment
it
who you
right?
think won
Absolutely.
during that year. I'm excited, but I'm nervous as well, Emma.
I'm excited, but I just don't know how I'm going to be picking these girls because some years were fantastic, so it's going to be a tricky one. I know exactly which year is going to be very tricky for me, but this is the fun thing, guys. Join in, let us know who would you pick. So these are just
And these
our
are our
views, Guru's
choices.
and
And this is
mine.
our
This is not
choices. This
these
is
are our choices. These are not
Yeah.
definite. So guys, don't be offended by it's just a fun thing we're playing with you guys. So get involved and of course let us know in the comments who you would have chosen. Okay, so we're gonna kick this off with 20. The year 2015 was interesting because we saw in MGI, we saw two winners. We had Ania Garcia from Dominican Republic, who had to relinquish her crown, and of course, it was taken over by Miss Australia, Claire Elizabeth Parker, who continued the reign.
Emma,
And
this is
Guru, who
interesting.
represented
This is
MU?
interesting
They were
because you
two,
said
yeah.
there were
So
two
she,
winners. So there was some controversy because of which, after some
yeah,
time, they would not able. She was not able to Miss Dominican Republic. She's actually a contestant at Miss USA as well. Sometimes she somehow between Nawad and herself, things did not probably go as well, and probably she relinquished the crown or she was told to leave. We don't know. But what's interesting, Emma, is 2015 was the year where we spoke about the curse of the crown. So we see two queens here in a
as well. Yeah,
thing, and we
yep,
see 2015 where there was again two winners. To be fair, there was Miss
yes,
Colombia and Miss
yes.
Philippines as well. But yes, the rightful winner was Pia.
Guru, who
So
would you think is gonna win this?
So I do believe that if Miss Dominican Republic would have continued her reign
Mm,
as Miss MGI, it would have been amazing because she was a clear winner. Her final answer was so emotional, and
mm,
mm, I don't know, it was very, very emotional. But at the same time, we saw Pia speaking her heart out, talking about
mm.
confidently beautiful, and I think she became the most popular Miss Universe because of the controversy that came in. And I think for that matter, even Miss Universe got the right boost at the right time when the pageant moved from Donald Trump to IMG. So she's
Mm.
iconic in that sense. So yes, with due respect, I am Team Universe.
Okay. I do love Philippines and I do love Pia a lot. I know there were two girls, and it's irony that there were two girls in MU and MGI at that time. For whatever reason, the other girl got crowned. Even though that happened in MGI, both the girls were good. I do love Australia, but for this one, it definitely goes to Pia because she is my favorite queen till now. She's married a Scottish man, and well,
And she lives in
Guru
Dubai
knows
as well.
exactly. So there are a lot of similarities which I love about her. So definitely Pia wins this one. And in 2016, representing MGI as the winner was from Indonesia, Ariska Putri Pertiwi. Interesting, Guru. I had a tough time with it was okay. I mean, it was nice. It was okay. I wasn't wowed by it, but who was representing Miss Universe in 2016? Let us
Well, our
know.
sweetheart, Iris Mitena, the chipmunk cutie pie. I think this was such a
The
beautiful,
chipmunk, yeah.
it was beautiful. I think her swimsuit, her evening gown, so intricately, it took 3 months to do that. And I think she
Her
was the first,
national costume in that,
yes,
oh my
Moulin
God.
Rouge. I think that was first Moulin
Moulin
Rouge
Rouge.
costume which was presented on
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Universe stage. Amazing. And what I loved about
absolutely.
it, that we saw a European queen actually having the fire, showing that she has energy, which has
Yes.
always been a pet peeve for most pageant fans
Yes.
concerning the European continent. So I think
Absolutely.
she set a benchmark, and she's doing so well for herself even as we speak.
As absolutely, I think this is a no-brainer for me to choose. I mean, I love this girl from the beginning when we watched this competition together. Her voice is like a little chipmunk. She's so sweet and cute and adorable and natural. The entire thing is so natural.
Both
So,
you.
her aura was so lovable. And yeah, I think what her evening gown wasn't impressive much as her national costume.
That's why
That
she stood out.
beautiful that burlesque, it was so sexy, it was beautiful. And yeah, for me, definitely 2016 went to Miss Universe Iris. And for you,
Absolutely, there is no two doubts, because I do feel in 2016 there were other contestants as well who did extremely well. I liked Philippines and I liked Puerto Rico as well. So, and actually, the question that was asked was very controversial, to be honest, to the MGI queens,
Mm.
between Hillary and Donald Trump. Which one would you choose? Which is like,
yeah, they should not do.
why to get
Yeah, they do too much of
politics now?
political.
For
Yeah,
me, I
it's
think
not even your country, not even your zone. You're not bothered with that, so why should you do it?
oh, yeah, but
Yeah,
that's just MGI, right? To create.
absolutely,
But I think Iris is sweet, is endearing, and is a strong woman. We love her for that.
absolutely. So two more votes go to MG. 2017, the MGI queen was from Peru, Maria Jose Laura. I think she was sweet. I did like her, but there was a huge competition, and Guru will tell us now who represented Miss Universe as the
Well, well,
winner.
well. I think the winner of Miss Universe 2017 had something very angelic about her. I've always looked up to her because I do feel that, her voice still has the quiver. You can feel
Hmm.
that she is not fully confident, but still she strives and she does her best, and I love her for that. Demi-Leigh Nell Peters was crowned as Miss Universe 2017. In an amazing gown. People, some of them, it was divided in terms of, the house was divided whether they liked it or not. But I loved
Hmm.
it. The crown, and her crown was the Mickey Moto crown, and she looked the best. I think no other Miss Universe winner has looked as beautiful as Demi when she won. And
Hmm.
she got married to Tim Tebow. And in fact, just yesterday they announced their the gender of the gender reveal. They're getting a baby
Hmm.
girl, and she's written a book of
Yes, yes, of
the crown
course.
that
Yes.
stays. So she has lived up to what, you know. I think the pain that she went through, she's turned it into a proper movement and passion. Um, so I love her to death for that. However, however, my vote, if it has to go, will go to Maria Jose in MGI. She was a goddess.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
one queen that lifted the bar for MGI when it comes
yeah,
to showing what a beautiful winner that they can crown. And she had all the qualities. She had the star quality, she had the enduringness, she had the a banging body, and her evening gown was, where does one get such a waist? Like, it was amazing. She was a class apart in that batch. So purely for all of that reasons, I think for me it's MGI. What about your winner?
okay, for me, Guru, for me, I mean, I know MJ. I mean, she was really a gorgeous Wawa Boom girl, but I love the sweet, subtle prettiness of Demi. I don't know why I do love that her aura, her personality, and I did like how she performed in the entire competition. So for me, it was a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Demi.
I'm happy.
So Miss Universe for
it's a
me.
it's
So
a
Miss Universe for me. Yeah. In 2018, it was a very interesting year because we saw Paraguay, Clara Sosa win the crown. Well, I think we know how
and
we
we
feel
had
as Indians, Guru. I
yeah,
don't want to say much.
no, no,
Yep, yep,
there's
yep.
no need to say. I think Bas, it's that Kokla.
Bas, enough. Next, who
And
represented
especially being
MU and who won?
Miss Universe being even neck to neck or holding hands with our wonderful, loving, beautiful soul who has redirected us each time when we have fallen. Catriona Gray, I think this is no competition. You're amazing. Let's move on.
Absolutely. My vote goes to MU. Guru's goes to MU. Next. Okay,
Okay,
2019
2019.
MGI saw a winner. Venezuela. This was Valentina Figuera.
And in
Now,
2019,
well,
we had Zozibini Tunzi from South Africa again coming
yep.
in. What do you think, Emma?
Guru, I fell in love with Zosie the minute I saw her. I wanted her from day one to win it. I'm not going to talk much of the MGI Queen, although she was wonderful. I love Zosie. I mean, there's nothing this girl can do. I do love a short hair. I did not like her when she came on to the other competitions with long hair
Yeah.
and she wore a wig or whatever. That was horrible. Her short hair was fantastic. She is the most graceful South African I've seen. Absolutely classy and beautiful. Zozibini takes it for me. MU definitely this year.
You know,
Don't even think twice about it.
in 2019, just before COVID, right?
Yeah.
I think on everyone's list, South Africa was not there in the top five for the simple reason that
Yeah.
just won. Demi had won 2 years back, right? And again, nothing spectacularly new that was given to us. But when she came in that gown
Oh.
of blue and the sand and the sea, my God, I was threatened because I wanted Puerto Rico to win that year, to be honest. And but the way she moved on after swimsuit, okay, I did not notice her still, but after evening gown, I said, wow. She took the microphone from Steve Harvey, talking about,
He was,
women should learn leadership, taking up space. Her iconic lines, even
yeah, yo,
with the.
that girl can talk.
So I think that really kind of showed that Miss Universe has taken tough calls of how to break stereotypes of what beauty standards are. And she was amazing that night. Compared to Venezuela, she won on Venezuelan soil. Again, she was beautiful. She's amazing. But
Yeah, she was.
the comparison of the greatness that Zosie had on that stage, my vote goes to Zosie.
Absolutely.
Miss Universe.
I Miss Universe again from both of us. Definitely, I don't think I love this girl from the beginning. And I think, yes, I think we were watching this together as well. And I think when I don't know how hard I screamed after that. I was like, yeah, okay, so this is what happened the following year. All right, so this was, of course, the absolutely grim COVID year when we were doubting pageants gonna happen, but eventually somehow they did. Ooh, it was just a nasty time for all of us. But however, we did see winners coming up, so that was a good thing. And in 2020, MGI had an American queen, of course. Her name was Abina Apaya. And well, it's not the first time that she's come, right?
No,
Guru?
Emma. In fact, she is another classic example of perseverance. She had actually participated in Miss Universe. So she was a crossover contestant in the year 2014, and that too from Ghana. Then in 2019, she again represented Miss Earth. And finally, in 2020, she won Miss Grand International 2020. And if you remember, she was trembling and she actually fell down. Miss Philippines had to literally lift her up.
Yeah, yeah,
It was a very scary crowning moment after all that we was seeing during COVID times. But Nawad again
yeah,
was very, very brave to host a physical pageant.
yeah.
And just after that, Universe also had to somehow arrange and create the Miss Universe 2020 pageant, where the winner was Andrea Meza from Mexico, holding hands with Brazil. So, well, what do you think?
Okay, here's the problem. When I was watching Miss Universe, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I did not really think Andrea was my favorite that night. India was strong, but I guess she did mess up a little bit, but I just wasn't happy when Andrea won. I remember when Guru and I were watching, I was not fully convinced. So, honestly, for this year, I'm gonna give it definitely to um, MGI. I'm going to give it to Abina because I think that was a very natural, sincere effort, and she won, and it was a lot of perseverance I saw in that girl. I I do not. Andrea's not there on my list as the best queens, to be honest. So no, I'm sorry, guys. This year went to MGI for me. Guru, what about you?
So, you know, what should I say? Andrea, again, is a crossover contestant. She was the first runner-up at Miss World when Manushi won, and
Mm,
she was always there, but not up there to kind of win. Especially during the final night, where we saw the likes of Peru doing extremely well, where we actually saw the backstage commentators, Demi as well as Chesley Chris and Paulina Vega, telling that it's going to be between Peru and India. So, be it her
yeah.
two questions where she was not very convincing, probably because she was trying to speak in English, though her natural language or first language is Spanish. She could not convey herself as effectively as one would have wanted a Miss Universe winner to have. But with Andrea, I believe that having the shortest reign was not, an impediment for her to really evolve as a beautiful person. And I think she grew on me after her crowning. Uh,
Mm,
when we compare that with Abia, I think, as I said, perseverant woman, and she stood out, even though, Philippines was almost neck to neck. And I just wish that Philippines had worn the green gown rather than the silverish gold pearl gown. USA all the way, and especially when she started speaking in Thai and tried to
mm,
impress Nawad. And after that, all the subsequent queens were trying to learn Thai, but she was the pioneer in doing that. She put in the effort.
yeah.
She knew what Nawad was looking at, and she was extremely successful. So yeah, my vote goes to MGI.
Wow, that was interesting. I really did not know what Guru was going to vote on, but yes, two was for MGI. Okay,
One is going to be
then
special.
absolutely 2021 MGI saw the winner from Vietnam, Nguyen Thuc Thu Thien. Sweet, pretty, but I want to know who represented Miss Universe as the winner.
Well,
Guru.
she was none other than our Sherni, Harnaaz Kaur Sandhu. Miss Universe, probably we are biased because we are Indians, but I don't think so. I think she was clearly rocking the Miss Universe stage at every round. Her final answer had the power. Her evening gown was flawless.
Ugh,
Her swimsuit round was powerful. Her looks, I think if looks could kill, her Naz would be, the biggest uh,
she is.
Vegna, Vegna of Stranger Things.
Oh my God. Guru, when I saw Diva and the preliminaries were going on, I still remember she's wearing this
Green,
lime green
green.
gown,
That dupatta she does
lime
this.
green,
Na?
and she's the only one who did this thing with it, and I saw her and I was like, oh my God, this girl. I had no idea about her that she has been trying for a while. I just saw her like, oh my God. And I think she won Miss Beautiful Skin. And that was it. That was the moment when I knew India is the one to
That is
beat. And
born.
so the love started way before. I mean, yes, MGI, all that was there, but it's a deep-rooted love that I have for her from the very beginning for a very long time. So definitely it's Harnaz for billions of reasons, not just that she's Indian and then she brought back the crown after so long, but she was truly remarkable ever since she got on her pageant journey. So definitely it's Miss Universe for 2021.
So,
And
yes, my vote first is going to Miss Universe, but I'll also give credit where credit is due for the MGI Queen, Miss Vietnam. I believe that she, again, was not a favorite to win, actually. There was that time Brazil, who was a
mm,
clear favorite, and we could see her reaction. I think her reactions when she's actually seeing the winners or who she thought is going to win, they are getting eliminated, is
mm,
masterpiece.
yep,
She is
yep.
completely in shock. And when we had the last two, Ecuador, Andrea Aguilera, who actually eventually became Miss Supranational, was there along with Miss Vietnam. Again, we thought it's going to be Miss Ecuador, but she won and she was beautiful. But I do
Yeah,
feel
she
with
won.
this contest, it was Harnaz a clear winner.
Absolutely. All right. And then, of course, in 2022, this was because we were there, and this was MGI, and it was Miss Brazil, Isabella Menem, who won, and it was a special one because this was the first pageant I ever saw. So I was completely awed, and I think that was one of the best productions that happened in Indonesia
Even for MGI, I would
with
say it was
MGI.
the
I think it was
best. It was their 10 year,
fantastic.
10-year anniversary.
Yeah, and so it was lucky that I got to see that, and then it was one of the best productions they've done. It was amazing, that energy, that love, that passion that I saw. It was a fantastic year for MGI. Everything all over. Brazil, Isabella Menem. Oh my God, goddess, absolute goddess. I love that gown that she wore. I think it was such a unique stripe. Horizontal stripes usually never works on
Yeah,
women
it makes
because
us
it'll
look
make you look
wider.
really, it'll make you look wider. But she did that, and it was sheer, and it was sparkly. It was this turquoisey, bluey, greeny thing. Like, oh
You
my
know,
God.
there is a history to that gown as well. Do you know what? That
But
gown is paying homage to the first Miss Universe from Brazil. And if you look at what she
oh,
wore, is a
mm,
replica of the gown that she wore when she won. So it was
okay.
interesting that she actually eventually won.
And it
Obviously,
worked.
it
This
worked.
girl was an absolute goddess on stage. She was fantastic throughout. I mean, the swimsuit round, which was these pink bodysuits. Oh my God, this girl looked like a sex bomb. Amazing. I mean, this girl wowed me. I mean, if I have to talk about it, although the crowd favorite was
Thailand.
our wonderful hi.
My vote was Thailand till the very
We
last
all
minute
were thinking Thailand has been,
when we
yeah,
had why you do like that, why you do
yeah.
like that.
So and there was this, I remember in the auditorium there was this neon sign, like a 10 feet big neon sign, Engfa. So the crowd actually brought that inside, and there was this lighting Engfa. And I was just looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, how's that there? So that was the madness of how people loved Engfa. I had it, we met her as well. I really, really thought Engfa, but then when you saw Brazil, when the competition proceeded, I was like, oh my God, yeah, 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 there's something. And then, Nawat was like, it was a bullseye. It was absolute bullseye to how he chose Isabella and not Tengfa. Much later when we saw the competition and, on YouTube, then I was like, yeah, 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 he got it right. For every reason. She spoke very well. She was articulate and gorgeous. So Isabella just absolutely blew me over that year for a fact. And MU, what happened at MU that year, Guru?
It was the first year of transition as well. So we finally saw Miss USA, Arbini Nola, going and winning the black dress with crystals and gems, with had blue crystals trying to match with the crown. And we had Venezuela neck to neck, and we had Dominican Republic as well. I think one of the strongest top three.
Yeah, she was my favorite. Yeah, yeah,
Well, I do feel that her win was justified, but I do also feel that Isabella Menin was someone who takes my heart away.
yeah,
Again, this was the next level when NGI took it to the next notch.
yeah,
Um,
yes, they did.
so the queen that actually took the organization with her. I think that's where Isabella Menin, Miss Brazil, comes extremely spot on. So for my 2022 vote, it goes to MGI as well.
Absolutely. For me, it was definitely MJ. I was not a fan of Arbani throughout the competition, although she had a lovely gown, which was very far, fashion forward and everything, unique. I liked Venezuela. I liked Dominican Republic. So I really, and if you see a reaction to that, I was always like, on the bench. Like I was like, I don't know who really. And I was like, then I got on the fence, like, oh, okay, maybe this. But no, I really was not that convinced about Arbani. I still felt, and I've said this many times on our show, that her reign was really bad. I mean, compared to her advocacy to what every other girl said, I did not buy that. So no, Arbani was not my favorite in generally, but Isabella just, he was like a spark. My God, like a pataka out. I mean, there was a 10-year anniversary, fantastic winner that we'll never forget. Definitely MGI. Okay, so now we come to fun stuff that happened with MU. So now we go on to, of course, 2023. This was a sweet, sweet girl. I loved her, and you can see my reaction. Luciana Fuster from Peru. I loved her. I mean, I remember when we were watching the preliminaries, all our fans and everyone were commenting Peru, Peru, and I was like, you know what? Yes, Peru. I did. I love the cute little colorful gown that she won the preliminaries with this little thing. It was like so cute and poofy and yeah, full of colors. And I loved her gown. I loved her smile. I love her natural look. And Colombia was strong that year. Everyone was like Colombia, but I don't know, Luciana. I really loved her. I loved her throughout the competition, and I think Nawat again shows fantastic when it came to that. So yes, Luciana is one of my favorites again. Well, who was it in Miss Universe, Guru?
Well, it was our uh, Sheynnis Palacio from Nicaragua. When I saw Miss Nicaragua at Miss Nicaragua competition, there
Me too.
itself, I said she is going to win. And
Yeah,
when we predicted the top two right, I was like, I hope she wins. I hope she wins. And it was amazing to see her win. The crowd was crazy that night. Her swimming, her turn when she came out
yeah,
from the swimsuit round was signature, par excellence, something new which was memorable, and she owned it. She's basically it's her stamp, the sway walk, as Madam Anne says. Evening gown again, the thought behind the whole Nicaraguan flag and the same
nice.
as El Salvador, and not messing up the answers, which happened the subsequent years because of a wrong translation. At least the translators gave her some decent answer. Um, I was it was a perfect ending to a nice, princess story tale. And I do feel while Peru was sweet, I just felt that that time Colombia was actually robbed
Yeah,
of by being second runner up. In fact, you guys can go and see our reaction. We were in
yeah, it was shocking.
dismay. It was, but thankfully, because having Myanmar and Peru was it was obvious it had to be, because there's
Yeah,
a limit to the BS MGI could do if they had to crown Myanmar, because the subsequent year Myanmar had to host the pageant, if you remember.
I know. I think that's what we all were talking about.
And I also did
Um,
like Luciana. She was nervous at her final question. She was not that thorough. That voice did not come across. But then MGI doesn't look at that, right? Uh, so that
so
is.
they've been monitoring this girl from day one. Like we know how Nawat gauges and monitors and his
I
analysis
know, but
on why
he's been also
this queen.
monitoring Miss Myanmar of 2024 and Miss France, both of which he has
Exactly,
actively
but then
included.
then that's the competition again. We wonder why Myanmar did she get to top five with all the nonsense that was going on. Then again, the 100 billion things to ask about judging criteria. Well, yes, I mean, Sheynnis, when I saw her at her national pageant, oh my God, her walk is what wowed me. Like that girl can walk, and we knew that she was just absolute royalty, and she did that. Her gown was spectacular, a super super, you know, s- I mean, disappointed. To be honest, if Michelle did come to top five, she would have won the crown. We've said this before on our show, but then Australia being there again was absolutely like, what the hell was going on? So it's kind of like we have said it. Maybe the path was paved for her to win,
Yes.
right, rightfully, because this girl was good, and I think that would have had to be the most logical winner that year. Sheynnis was spectacular. I love Luciana, but you know what? For me, definitely El Salvador put up a fantastic show, and the way the crowning happened and the way everything happened was so fantastic. So definitely MU took this. Sheynnis is my winner. And of course, 2024 in MGI saw our darling Rachel Gupta, finally an Indian winning MGI. And I think, when I knew it was her crown is the preliminaries when she wore that pink Indian
Game over.
gungat and with the dupatta. I mean that moment went viral within seconds around the world. Everyone copied that look. Everyone was talking about that pink look. It was just unbelievable. I think that was the moment. Like, yeah, we know it's Rachel. End of story. Give it up. And after that, everyone fell flat. No one wowed us
Guilty.
from there. Um, Even her best friend, what
Indonesia.
was it? Indonesia. Even her gown with the little thing like
Ribbon.
that, it just it still did not work. And we had interesting girls. We had Miss France,
In
Safitu, who
Spain as
was
well later on. No,
obviously
it was not this
dethroned
time.
now. Safita was dethroned, and there was a lot of nonsense going on as well with me and Marinwell, and so much of nonsense. But this girl was the one that stood out, Rachel from day one, and Nawab noticed her, and it was tough convincing a man like that. And this girl was spot on at the question answer. She was spot on in swimsuit. She was spot on in the evening gown. Her preliminary round was so amazing. I didn't think she could top it, but she did. She did top it in the final round. In that evening gown, I have not seen in a very long time. It was gorgeous, spectacular. She's definitely the one for me at this point. But who took MU crown thus? Yeah, 2024.
We had Miss Denmark, Victoria, winning the new standard of beauty as per Miss Universe, the blonde and blue eyes. And that's the evolution. So, Emma, what's your view on Victoria's
Okay,
victory
I
versus
absolutely love Denmark. I have loved Denmark from the beginning of the competition, and she was the first time I predicted a girl coming as the winner. That was my first prediction to come right from Miss Universe. So she was my sweetheart, and she still is. And it's so difficult for me to choose who, if now watching, oh my God, watching her and Rachel holding their hands together, who would I pick? I think I would just scream and run away. I don't know how I'd pick. But for the fact that how overwhelmed and I was overwhelmed with both wins. I was crying for both wins. I was super excited for both wins. How would I pick this? I don't know, but I'm going to ask Guru before I make a decision. So, Guru, who would you
So
pick?
for me, I think Rachel, like what Isabella did, raised the bar of the organization. I think
Yeah,
we clearly said in our final, predictions that if there was ever a year where Nawad had to get into market India, it would be this. He would be a wise businessman if he would do this. And her victory was not because of his wiseness; it's because she commanded victory that night. There was nobody else who
yeah,
came very close to her at all. Even Philippines was a distant second, I would say. And then even a final answer talking about resources and how she basically took the war, plus she took the environment, plus she took education. So because she was number 4 in giving the answer, and the others had already taken ABC. So for her to have everything together, thinking of that in the moment and giving an answer which was unique and satisfied everything. So I think it was perfect crowning. Victoria on that matter, again, we did not think, most of us did not think that she would win. But the way it was made to win, I think if Venezuela would have given the right answer, things could have been different. If Chile would have moved on from into the top 5, things could have been different. So we were, at least for me, she was not the obvious winner that night. Though it's very clear that the organization loves her. They are doing everything even till this date. She's attending Trump's, presidentship. She's going to
yeah.
fashion weeks. She's doing all this stuff. So having the support of the organization is equally important. So for me, purely for the queen that she represents, it's going to be Rachel Gupta, who got our first golden crown for India.
For me to make this decision for two of my favorites who I wanted and definitely saw win, I think what Guru said, it makes sense. Rachel was shining throughout. She was a clear winner for many people, and it was like her efforts were shown from day one till the crowning moment. For Denmark, again, it was always an if. And nobody was like sure about her. I loved her, many loved her, but then everybody was definitely tilting towards Venezuela. So I think for that reason, the fact that the girl that really, really made an impact, and of course, I love definitely going to MGI. Rachel Gupta is definitely going to win. And if this is going to happen again between these two girls, Rachel Gupta is going to win it, no doubt. But 10 years of winners going head to head with each other,
Yeah.
and who we would have chosen as our winners. So, guys, let us know in the comment section who would you choose as your winners, the winners and the winners from both these competitions each year. Let us know who was your favorite and who would you pick if they were going for a head-on challenge.
Emma, I've done a back-to-back.
Guru, so what's the score, by the way?
Overall score is quite biased or tilted towards Miss Universe, where we have 14 when it comes to Miss Universe in terms of votes,
Wow.
versus 5 going to Miss Grand International.
Absolutely. This is going to be an interesting year because now we're going to see an amalgamation of MGI and MU together. Are we going to see two different pageants coming up, or we're going to see something that's just going to be merged with each energy? And I am concerned about this. I'm not happy because now if He's going to organize it. What's going to happen to the judges? Are we going to have a single judge panel? Is he going to get his old Navatism thing into judging the girls? I don't know. I hope it's just production that he is going to be organizing, and that's it. And he
Point.
has no
Rahul,
other,
Rahul is going to decide all of that. So I think from that point of view, I'm sure he'll keep the Latin American side of things balanced out compared to it being totally an Asian thing. That's
correct. I don't want it to be. I would love to see a European girl win as well again. I mean, we had Denmark and Europe and Africa and Asia, and I think it should all be equalized now. It just became too Latina at one time, but then having a Denmark win in Mexico was a big shocker, and I was very happy about that. So I just want to see the same format of the classic Miss Universe come back. This is going to be fun to see if Navath can actually, you know, reignite that lost passion of MU
I
that
don't
has
think
been
so.
gone down.
Veena is selling MGI products. So
Well,
he's talked about social commerce. So I think all of them are just going to be selling fish oil to bags to
oh my God.
businesses.
Like I'm saying, I don't know what's going to happen with the winner, because then who is going to take over and give her duties? I mean, it's going to be all MGI, because then it's
I think that brand,
business,
after a
business,
few
business.
years, we'll
I'm
see
really,
that
really
Nawaz
concerned
will
with
kill
this
the
year.
MU logo and then MGI will remain. He'll just lap it up and make one big
It'll be
contest.
what, MGI one, Miss Bigger Grand
Miss
International. I
Brand
don't know what's going to
Universe.
happen,
Miss
but
Brand
this is
Universe.
a very, very Miss Grand Universe. Yeah, I think it's a very critical year for us for these two pageants, because it could be make or break for them. Let's see what's going to happen. Either one of them is going to take, which we have said that it'll be a complete Navath fest, and
His
I just don't
influence
know
is
what's going to
growing.
happen.
His influence is definitely increasing year on year. And as a businessman, I don't think he would want to have two systems rather than combine the good resources and then make sure that he really mints money because that's his goal. So there could be
If
a
this is
merger and
happening, yeah.
acquisition.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see news about Conan making an exit out of this entire thing. I just feel it's just going
Yes.
to happen, that she's just going to go away and for good, and these two men are going to take over. And then I have no idea what is they going to do with the brand, but let's just hope that they realize they have two very different brands and they just revive it properly and run it properly. So, well, that's left to see. But let us know what you thought about this episode. It's a fun one, and let us know what you think about this entire
Right.
MGI MU merger that's happening. Are you happy with it? Are you concerned about it? Let us know your views. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell button to be notified on our upcoming videos, because pageant season has started and we got lots more to
The one
say.
and only pageant gurus are signing off, and we are going to be looking at our transformation very soon. So stay tuned. All the very best. Have a great week ahead, and
Stay safe and shukriya.